billionaires, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about a serious issue that's actually very relevant and that I've actually experienced firsthand. So I was on Instagram scrolling as we do, and I stumbled upon this girl's story. I watched this girl talk about this entire story about how she almost got kidnapped at the airport. I'm gonna include the stories so you can watch those right now.
Something really crazy happened to me yesterday that I think the girls out there who are traveling solo should really know about, and it happened at the Toronto airport when I was leaving. After I grabbed my luggage and I was heading towards the taxi place, this man approached me and he was like, "Hey, do you want a taxi?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, that was easy, like no problem." So I started walking to his car and I'm about to put my suitcase in. As I'm about to get into his car, the security lady ran up to me and was like, "Ma'am, do not get in that car." And I was so confused because he was like, "No, don't listen to her." And I'm like, I took her advice and I ended up going to the side, and she told me that these men have been watching for women who walk out of the airport and say they're providing a taxi service, but they actually take them hostage, selling them for sex trafficking. That was such a close call and so terrifying. And where are the police? It was just such a wake-up call. What? I am just so thankful that this lady saw this and she was there at the perfect time and she was able to warn me in time, because I was literally seconds away from getting into his car. Wow. Just a really shitty feeling that women have to always be on guard like that, especially when they're traveling alone. And now I'm currently in Rochester, New York, and I'm just walking down the street and I was approached by 3 men "Hey, baby." Really scary being on your own. So women, just be strong, be confident, be kind, but not too kind, and just be aware of your surroundings, because honestly, anything can happen.
She said that some guys came up to her asking if she needed a taxi, and she was like, "Oh yes, thank you." And then this other lady came up to her and said, "No, don't go with those guys. They've been keeping their eye out for women traveling alone, and they've been kidnapping them and using them for sex trafficking." So I was like, whoa, what? I was like, this exact same thing happened to me in Charles de Gaulle, and I wanted to talk about it. It was actually one of the craziest moments I've experienced, and I didn't talk about it because I thought it was nothing. I assumed that they were all taxi drivers. I wanted to think the good, And basically what happened to me at Charles de Gaulle in Paris, my plan was originally to take a Uber from the airport to my host, my couch surfing host. And I honestly think that is the safest option. Please do that rather than taking a taxi, because a lot of taxis aren't reliable. Uber at least does some kind of background check. Yeah, there have been awful Uber stories and stuff. So yeah, my plan was originally to take an Uber, but my Uber app wasn't working for some reason. I had 3 different cards on it, and none of them were working. I don't know why. I told my bank where I was gonna be. It really just doesn't make sense. So I was like, okay, I have cash, I have euros, let me get a taxi. That was my plan. And I was thinking in my head, fuck, a taxi could be so much more expensive. At least on the Uber app it tells you how much it's gonna be, so it's no no hidden fees or anything. That's what I like about Uber. You know what you're paying. But with a taxi, it's they can take the long way. If you make it clear that you're a tourist, they will take you a long way. So sometimes you're not gonna look like a local or sound like a local, but don't act so touristy, because that's how you get ripped off. Don't be so obvious, "Hey, I'm a traveler, I'm alone, hi." Just be low-key, be smart, And so yeah, I was gonna do a taxi, and so I was like, shoot, where's the taxi stand? I believe I even asked someone where's the taxi stand, or even the Uber pickup, because I believe they're in the same place. But all of a sudden, all of these men come literally circulate around me. I am Like once all these men like came over and they're like, taxi, taxi, and they're like, no, like then they started arguing with each other and like, no, like I got to her first, like you back off. Like they started like fighting at each other, and honestly no one helped me. Like that story of like how that girl like someone came over to her and helped her, like I wish someone did that for me, even though like I'm not positive that they were like sex trafficking. Like I was honestly trying to really like dig deep and be like, okay, like who are these men, like what are their intentions. Like I was truly trying to feel that, and I didn't feel anything negative, but I mean I kind of did. I did, you know. I did end up taking a taxi home, but it was super chill. Like the guy didn't talk the whole time. Like we got to my destination, like he helped me with my bag, like opened my door. I think like I got really lucky. So when I heard about like this story of this girl and like she was so close to being like kidnapped, like what, like that was almost me. Like all of these guys, literally like 20 different men in like leather jackets, like came up like around me and they're like, you need a taxi, you need a taxi. And I kept looking around and I was like, does anyone else see what's happening? Like I'm literally a girl alone in the Paris airport and all of these men are coming up to me. So like it was just scary. Like, and like I looked around and I was like trying to meet eyes with someone who knew like what was going on and be like, hey, help, like where's the taxis? Like it was just crazy because like it just felt so weird. And at that moment I was like, I need a taxi, like my Uber app is not working, but I don't know who to trust here. I don't know who I can trust. Should I trust this guy? Should I trust this guy? And what was even more sus, okay, so the one guy that I did pick, like he was kind of like younger, he looked normal-ish, you know, pretty like clean. And so I said, hey, like let's do a flat rate, because the one bad thing about taxis is that you never know what you're paying and they can always like take you the long way. So I was like, let me do a flat rate. Let's do flat rate like 50 euros or like 60 euros or something like that, which is still a lot when I think about how I took the Wazi bus back for only 12 euros. That was a lot cheaper. So my advice is that you be careful, be smart, because I was really close. It was just a very suspicious situation, and I don't want anyone else to be in a situation like that. Yeah, the guy said like 50 euros, like flat rate, okay, like, and then he was like, okay, like follow me. And oh no, what was crazy is the guy, what they were doing. Okay, so what some of these guys are doing in the airport, like I'm so happy I'm making this video. Okay, so he was about to order an Uber for me on his phone. I was like, what? I was like, wait, hold up, what? Like, wait, so you're saying like you want me to give you cash, like overpay, you know, and then you're gonna just order an Uber for me? Like he had his phone out like ready, or I was like, I don't want an Uber. Like I was like, I wanted a taxi. And so he's like, okay, we go. Like, and I was like, okay, so like this guy's gonna drive me like to my place. And he's like, no, I'm not the driver. I take you to the driver. And that moment I was like, okay, like red flag. What? I did follow him. Like, I don't know why, like, but I was guided to do so, and everything worked out fine. So I'm happy that like things happened the way they did. Like it was all divine. I was okay. I was safe at the end of it. But this guy, he like led me over to like where the taxi pickup was, and I was like, okay, like we're probably gonna get in this car now. And then he was like, well, no, wait here. And then he went and got in a car, and then he came over, like drove in the car, then he got out of the car, and then he went over to another taxi guy, and then like basically told that guy to drive me. It was sus, but, and I mean, I could have been very close to like the sex trafficking and what was actually going on, but I'm very happy that things happened the way they did. I was okay and no one was hurt. But it could have been a lot worse, like especially seeing that girl's story. So I just want you all to be safe, be smart when you're traveling, especially if you're solo traveling, especially if you're a female solo traveler. Like this is a message to all travelers, but especially female solo travelers, like I was, you know, and that's who they look out for, that's who they prey on. So It sucks. It fucking sucks. Honestly, I wear hijab a lot in the airport. Like 99% of the time in an airport, I'm wearing a hijab. Or even outside in like the city, I wear hijab. I cover up my hair because this is just like, it's just so bright and just so loud. So I wear a black hijab, and sometimes, a lot of the times that helps my risk of getting fucked with, honestly. It's sad, but it's true. So just be smart. You know, don't freaking walk around naked, you know, just be smart, like wear the right clothing in the right neighborhoods, you know, like it sucks that we have to, but honestly it's just street smarts. And with traveling so much, it's like, yeah, I can do anything in this neighborhood like where I live, but it's like in Europe it's different, you know. So just be smart. I love you all. Make sure to give this a thumbs up, subscribe. I'm really trying to make daily content. Still got so much footage from Europe to edit, so those travel vlogs are still gonna be coming. Just even though I'm back in LA, they're still gonna be coming. Yes, stay tuned for more. Okay, I love you. Ciao.
On va danser le long des golfes clairs. On va danser le long des golfes clairs. On va danser le long des golfes clairs.